Good morning. Today is Friday, July 2nd, 7:06 a.m. And this is a special meeting of the Romulus Community Schools Board of Education. We are streaming live on YouTube and Google Meet. We are now open for public participation. If anybody has any comments, they may be submitted through the Google form on YouTube or through Google Meet. Madam Secretary, will you please call the roll?
Terrell,
Yes.
present. Bergeron,
Present.
German,
Present.
you're remote. We gotta say where you are.
Present, Wayne County, Romulus.
Thank you. Hiles,
Present, Washtenaw County.
Wester is present. Orlando, Florida. Kennard, or Evans. Nope.
We have quorum. Everyone, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it just Mr. Coop, I'm sorry. I move that the Board of Education accept the meeting agenda as presented.
Support.
Moved by Pyle, supported by, was that Terrell?
Yes.
Roll call vote, please.
Bergeron,
Yes.
Terrell,
Yes.
Hiles,
Yes.
Wester is yes. German,
Yes.
motion is approved.
Mr. Cooper, do we have any public comments?
We do not.
We do not. Okay, so before we get started on our first agenda item, I would like to introduce and welcome Mr. Sean McNatt, who is filling in for Dr. Edmondson while he is on medical. He is an experienced superintendent, and we are very appreciative and grateful to have him with us. Mr. McNatt, I will just give you a few minutes. I'll give you the floor so you can introduce yourself to the public and share a little bit about yourself, please.
Thank you. My name is Sean McNatt. I'm married and I have 3 kids. And I've been in education for over 20 years. Without adding up the numbers, we'll just say that. I've been a superintendent for 12 years and a principal for 6. I have a master's degree and I have all my certifications up to date. So it's been a pleasure to be able to be here at Romulus and jump in during a time of need. And I look forward to working with the Board of Education, the administration, and the community at large. So thank you for the invite. I appreciate it. My major goal here is to carry out the vision of the Board of Education and the superintendent and try to leave nothing on his desk for when he returns. So, good deal.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I'm coming, guys. One moment, please. I apologize, Madam Secretary. I'm in the car and I don't see my agenda here. Would you please read the motion for the high school principal?
Yes. I move that the Board of Education approve the administrative contract for Nathaniel Seth Petty to serve as principal of Romulus High School with an anticipated start date of July 2nd, 2021, and a contract expiration date of June 30th, 2022. Rationale: The hire of Seth Petty as principal of Romulus High School is presented for the board reconsideration at the request of board members. The hire of Mr. Petty was considered previously at our June 28, 2021 meeting. Romulus Community Schools is excited to offer the high school principal position to Mr. Seth Petty, beginning with the thorough vetting process in which union leaders and cabinet members sorted the candidate pool. Through 2 rounds of interviews, including a required presentation, and with a committee consisting of high school teachers, secretaries, paraprofessionals, administrators, and cabinet members, and including reference checks, we are pleased to have determined Mr. Petty to be an excellent candidate for this position. Mr. Petty holds a Bachelor's of Science degree in Political Science and in Accounting and a Master's degree in Education from Marygrove College. He began his teaching career as an elementary teacher for Ann Arbor Public Schools. He has served as a building administrator at the elementary and middle school levels, working first in Ypsilanti Community Schools and then Ferndale Public Schools. We are pleased to recommend his candidacy for high school principal position.
Support.
The implications is the parameters are within the budget.
I've supported that.
Thank you.
We call the vote. I'm sorry, discussion. I'm assuming that there's not going to be discussion on this, but I would like to say this. We are excited and grateful to have Mr. Petty joining us. And I do want to state on the record that, as stated in the motion that Ms. Wester read, we are bringing this motion back because it failed on Monday. And I want to be very clear to all of our stakeholders that the reason for that was board members were requesting information and wanting to be more informed. It was not a reflection on Mr. Petty. It was not any concerns that we had with him. It was more of our new a salary and our step schedule. So I do want to state that on the record because he comes to us with experience in districts similar to ours. He has a proven track record of turnaround, and it is very much what is needed at Romulus Community Schools and at our high school. So I do, because there were those concerns, I want to be very clear that we are fortunate to have Mr. Petty. We are excited to have Mr. Petty, and he comes to us with the full support of our leadership, our board, and the teachers at the high school. So I would like to state that. Are there any other comments that board members would like to add? If there are none, Madam Secretary, will you call the vote?
Terrell,
Yes.
Bergeron,
Yes.
German,
Yes.
Wester is yes, Piles,
Yes,
motion is approved.
motion carries. Welcome, Mr. Petty, to Romulus Community Schools. Next on the agenda is the approval of revised superintendent's contract. I move that the Board of Education approve an employment contract for Superintendent Dr. Benjamin Edmondson with effective dates of July 1, 2021 through June 30th, 2024. The rationale is the item was considered at our June 28, 2021 board meeting. At the request of board members, the item will be reconsidered. The Board of Education approved an effective rating for the superintendent's performance review for 2021. This action results in the continued employment of Dr. Benjamin Edmondson as superintendent. His employment contract is improved in the following ways. Number 1, extending the contract by 1 year. Number 2, increasing compensation in specific areas of interest. And number 3, aligning the quality of work that Dr. Benjamin Edmondson will continue to give this community as its superintendent. And for budget implications, the contract falls within the financial parameters of the budget. And the board
Support.
has been provided with confidential exhibits for review. I'm sorry, who supported?
Wester.
Moved by Pyle, supported by Wester. The floor is open for comments, concerns, or questions. Okay, I would just like to speak on this matter. Again, this motion failed on Monday, and it was questions and concerns that board members had. Again, I want to state that it was not a reflection on Dr. Edmondson in any way. It was more a desire to be more informed. I have provided the board with the Ramberg report that we received in March of 2020, as well as Don Sovey's site survey. Both of those have financial recommendations for all of our salaries. I included a comparison of districts in our area comparable to ours in our ISD, and along with student enrollment and superintendent salaries for your review. I do want to state that we are competitive, and for enrollment, we're actually above competitive with the salary that's being proposed. I will state this. We do want to compensate our employees. We want them to stay, and we want them to perform well. And Dr. Edmondson he brings energy and vision to this district. I would just encourage the board to review the data. I think it's important that we are supporting our superintendent and supporting this motion. However, please be mindful of the recommendations we were given. We are, as a board, choosing to exceed those recommendations, and we were cautioned against it. It doesn't mean that we can't. It means that if we are going to step out this way, we need to be financially prudent in our other decisions to make sure we protect these salary increases and make sure they are sustainable. So with that, I would again just encourage the board to review, and also in our May 29th email from Jay Bennett, he also did a district comparison and recommended a superintendent salary based on that, May 29th of 2020, of 130 to 150,000. So again, there's not a problem with exceeding that, but make sure that we're understanding that we are absolutely competitive, but we're choosing to go above that. And it would be my desire that we make sure that we correlate not correlate because we will approve it, I'm assuming, but we clearly establish goals and measure them along the way, so that when we can give an account to stakeholders, showing the impact of this salary increase. Is there anything else any board members would like to add?
Madam President, I call a question on the motion.
Madam Secretary, if you would call the vote, please.
Terrell.
Yes.
Bergeron.
Yes.
German.
Yes.
Piles.
Yes.
Wester is yes. Motion carries.
Are there any communication from board members?
I'd just like to welcome Sean. Thank you for coming and helping us out doing our superintendent's medical leave. And you had to jump in. It was sink or swim, but thank you for coming on and taking his place, filling in while Ben's on leave. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I would like to state that, thank you again to Mr. McNatt, but, and also many people have reached out inquiring about Dr. Edmondson and his health. And we all continue to keep our thoughts and prayers with him and wish him a speedy and full recovery. Thank you, Mr. McNatt. Thank you, board. And on that, motion to adjourn.
Wester, support.
Moved by Pyle, supported by Wester. Madam Secretary, would you please call the vote?
Terrell,
Yes.
Bergeron,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Lester is yes, Piles,
Yes, meeting adjourned.
11:21. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.